This is a diagram of the Yoruba Cosmos made by my cyber goddess. She was a coworker that did web development. Many years ago, I had a primitive web page when I was learning that craft, but I became chair and had little time for web stuff. This cyber goddess told me to give her materials and she would place it onto my page. I lost any facility with web development, but have some remnants from my old site. I had given my cyber goddess a chart that had boxes with information inside. She wanted to be artsy by adding color and curves. She left out some of the content, but I will add more detail. On the upper corner of this slide is a map showing the countries in West Africa that have the largest population for the Yoruba. The blue box represents Orun, or heaven. On my original box, the upper right corner would have a smaller box with the name of the high god. The high god for the Yoruba is Olorun, or Olodumare, meaning owner of the sky. As you can probably guess, the high god is ultimately responsible for creation. Then there are the Orisha, the lesser gods. They are numerous and responsible for intermediary roles and supernatural activities. Also, there is a Shu, who was located in a small box next to Olorun. A Shu is an African trickster. When rituals are performed toward an Orisha or Olorun, an offering must be given to a Shu. Tricksters are mythological figures, whether African or Native American, that are sometimes described as anti-heroes. Trickster tales are often funny, sometimes obscene, but instruct us on how precarious life can be. For an African example, a Shu sometimes trick the ritual performers into doing their rituals in the wrong way. When this happens, the hoped-for ritual outcome does not happen. A basic lesson is that life does not always give us what we want when we want it. Lastly, on my original diagram, there were two boxes at the bottom for the family and deified ancestors. The former are the living dead that a particular family continually communicates with, and deified ancestors are those deceased individuals that the larger community wishes to remember and connect with. Sometimes deified ancestors can be elevated to Orisha status. The middle box is for ritual activity. On my original diagram, I had listed more ritual specialists that I will cite here. On the slide, the family head would perform and officiate rituals for a specific family. A chief would officiate rituals for a particular region, while a priest could perform rituals that could be syncretistic with Christianity. The types of religious specialists that should be added for tribal religiosity would include shaman, medium, medicine man or woman, diviner, and rainmaker. At the bottom of what used to be a box is found the worshiper. This represents any member of the tribe that would utilize the expertise of a ritual mediator to access the various powers found in the heavenly realm. Beneath the worshippers are witches and sorcerers, those individuals who utilize supernatural powers for negative purposes. Every culture has individuals that utilize power and/or resources of their cultures in this fashion. Imagine a pre-corona classroom scenario where Walt and Wendy are very upset that all of their goats are dying on their farm. It turns out that Inez put some kind of hex on the animals. She was angry at Walt for dumping her for Wendy. Now Walt and Wendy have to access the skills of a shaman or medicine man to counteract this hex.